Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another post-match show. First midweek match of the season for us. Following West Ham, Tottenham drawing 1-1. Before we get into everything, I really quickly just wanted to say thank you for the support on the first 3 episodes of this season, or shows from this season thus far. I know that, or I think I can speak for both of us saying that we greatly appreciate it and can love doing these, and we're going to continue doing them as long as we can. So,
Yeah.
segueing into that, as always, I'm Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Irish Tommy. How are you feeling after that one, mate?
Quite pleased. The main thing whenever we play Tottenham is just don't lose. Just don't lose to them. So we haven't done that. We haven't let them come to our place and beat us because we'd be really sickened and depressed right now. So pleased that we didn't lose. Obviously, pity we couldn't win it, but
Yeah.
I thought a really decent performance, especially second half. I thought we played really well second half. So it's just a shame we couldn't quite go and win it.
Yeah, I think if we continue to play the way we did in that second half this season, for extended periods of times, we're going to have no troubles this season. I think we're going to do very well. Obviously, you got to keep up that form, but first half, I don't think I think we played still pretty well. I think it was unlucky to give up the goal that we did via own goal by Kerner, but it definitely felt against the run of play. I don't think, or I really think that we are. I think the whole summary for this match for me is I think Tottenham were lucky to come out of that with a point.
Yeah, I think they'll count themselves a little bit fortunate.
Yeah.
Like first half, I thought we did play quite well, and that goal definitely came against the run of play. I didn't think they deserved a lead at that point. It was a
No.
real sickener, to concede that. It just caught on the counter attack. We had Soucek and Royce were like on the edge of their penalty box when we lost the ball, and they unfortunately got in behind 3-on-3. It's a shame for Kerr. No fault on the own
No.
goal.
No.
Actually, Soucek actually should have done better on that.
Yeah.
He
Kerner
got
wasn't
drawn.
benched today. I think he was. I think he's incredible. I think that is going to be such a steal of a signing for us.
Yeah, we paid 10.1 million for Kerr, and he
Yeah,
looks like he's worth way more than that.
we're gonna have a rotating center back trio potentially of
Yeah,
Kerner, Aguerd when he comes back from injury, and Zuma and Ogbonna, which we'll get into because I had some notes on him as well.
yeah,
But Ogbonna to back him up as well. So in terms of the center backs, I feel very good for this season.
yeah. We'll wait and see. We don't know if we're going to lose Dawson tomorrow on deadline
True.
day. We're not sure what's happening there. He could go to Villa, but
I'm hearing Wolves.
one of the two. I
Yeah.
think they're both in for him. But yeah, I mean, we've got options now at centre back, which is good. We've got at the moment 4 really good centre backs.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, the way Kerrer is improving game on game, it's going to be really interesting because he's going to play a lot of games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially with Aguerd out.
Even with Ogbonna back, I think at the moment the way he's playing, he'll keep Ogbonna on the bench.
Yeah, and I do too.
But I mean, if he continues to grow in the role and get better and better, I mean, by the time Aguerd is fit, you have to wonder if Aguerd would get back in the team ahead of Kerrer. I mean,
I think it's going to end up being another one of those situations where whoever is starting at that given time, they're going to have it until they slip up, and then Aguerd is going to have his chance to come in and prove himself.
Yeah, and let's remember, that Thilo Kehrer, got signed by PSG. If you get signed by PSG,
yeah, I mean,
you're a good player, and he's a German international, so he's a very good player, and with each game he just seems to get better and better and more assured.
yeah, he's adapted very well.
Yeah, he looks quality, I have to say. I thought he was brilliant tonight.
And I wholeheartedly agree. And then we also have to talk about the new boy, Lucas Paqueta, coming on. I mean, he looks like he's been playing in the Premier League for years. I mean, he got stuck in right away. There was no adjustment period for him whatsoever. He's probably the second name on the team sheet next week for me, or for Chelsea for me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he starts against Chelsea. I'd love to see that. But you know what David Moyes is like.
Yeah.
There'd be no surprise if he's on the bench again.
No,
Which I think
absolutely.
will
I
be,
completely agree, but that's just my opinion. He's second name on the team sheet, only behind Rice right now.
yeah,
I,
100%. I mean, I'd put him in from the start now in every game. He showed when he came on, he can come in and do a job. So, I like that he's tough. He put in a really nice challenge as well and got a yellow card for it. And he did some defensive work as well. He's not afraid of the physical stuff, which is really
yeah,
good to see. He's not one of these prima donna Brazilian
that's what I
flair
saw a lot of
players.
people talking about on Twitter. He's not just a luxury piece who thinks that he's all that and doesn't want to get hurt. No, he's gonna put a tackle in when he sees it.
Yeah, it's good to see. His work rate, he works so hard. He came in,
Yeah,
he did so much running when he came in. He helped
yeah.
out in defense as well. He was getting involved in both boxes. So Moyes is going to love that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
Moyes' kind of player. And obviously we know the quality he has on the ball. It's just a pity that when Emerson stepped over
Yeah,
that
I
ball
was
that
gonna
he wasn't ready for that.
I was gonna talk about that. That was the only even remotely negative, and it was just the miscommunication between him and Emerson at
Yeah,
the end because he had clear line on goal. Lloris was somewhat distracted, looking anywhere but the ball. I think that Paqueta steps up and drills that in, steps forward or announces himself into the Premier League, winning over Tottenham in a London derby.
yeah, it would have been kind of dream stuff, wouldn't it?
And
Yeah,
then, and then
it's
obviously we had several other chances late in the game again. Bowen's cross goal, Antonio. I mean, kind of gone or it's kind of already been memory hold by us, but Antonio hitting the post as early as he did. I mean, we had our opportunities, and like I said, I honestly feel that Tottenham got lucky coming out with a draw.
Yeah, they were fortunate. I think had we scored a second, I think they couldn't have complained.
No,
They would have, but they'd have no right to. If we'd have won that 2-1, that would have been about right on balance of the game. But so it's a pity, but still a lot of positives to take from that. Much better performance. We've got 4 points from our last 2 games.
yeah,
So
I mean,
we're improving and we're on the up. So in Chelsea, we're not impressive against Southampton.
no,
They
that's
did
another
not look
winnable game. I
great.
feel.
Yeah, Chelsea did not look great in that game. So we go to the Bridge on Saturday now. With a real chance to hopefully get a win there.
Yeah,
It still won't be an easy game. Obviously, Chelsea do have some quality,
no,
but
it'll not. Against top six never will be, but
yeah, but we've got a chance in that game. If we go there and play really well, it's a game we could win.
yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if we came out of the match with Chelsea with at least a point again. I would take after the start of the season that we've had going up against Villa, Tottenham, and then Chelsea. I'd be more than happy walking away with that or with 5 points from that stretch.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be disappointed if we take a point from the Bridge. That again would be a very decent result. Not every team we play is going to be as good as Tottenham and Chelsea, so hopefully we can start picking up the wins that we need to
Yeah,
pick up. Against the slightly. Although having said that, after Chelsea we've got Newcastle, who are playing really well. That's going to be a really tough game. I think that I'm going to say it now. I think the Newcastle game is actually going to be tougher than the Chelsea one.
I agree. Remind me off the top, or because I can't remember off the top of my head. Is that in London or is that at Newcastle?
That is at our place, I believe.
Someone in the chat can confirm that because I can't remember personally. So
Yeah, I think we're at home against Newcastle. So yeah,
I'm curious what you mean by this epic cash time.
some fans want to see Souček. They did see him.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my next thing. I think that we have to give a massive props to Antonio and Souček today. I think that they played well. Souček was a little quiet at times, but fair play to him to making the run or seeing the play and making the run that he did, and hell of an assist by Antonio to level the game.
That flick from Antonio was class.
That was disgusting.
Back to goal. He obviously saw Souček running off his shoulder and just like flicked it behind.
Yeah.
Decent first touch from Socek too, because
Yeah.
when the ball comes to you at that height, like it's really awkward when it's like thigh high. It's difficult to do much with it, but
Thank you, mate. I
he
greatly
managed to touch
appreciate
the
it.
ball out in front of himself. Lenny,
Appreciate it,
179.
mate.
That 179. Just so you know, Lenny is going straight into Tim's fund for his next horror movie.
Yeah, I'll have to let Tim know just so that way he's not surprised.
It's going towards his movie budget for his next horror film.
Probably. We love Tim.
Yeah.
Home against Newcastle. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it helps we're at home against them, but they're playing really well. They're Eddie Howe's
I have a feeling that's actually going to be a very good match. I have a feeling that's going to be a very good match for neutrals.
Yeah, I think that will be a really good game. They were desperately unlucky tonight.
Oh, it's Liverpool, man. I mean, that shit's always
the
going to
ref was giving Liverpool as much time as they fucking needed, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was the 90th plus 8th minute. Like, holy shit.
He the board went up. It was 5 minutes, and it was over 7 minutes on the clock when that was scored.
Yeah. I mean, I swear to God too. I figure, knowing our luck, I thought that penalty that they had originally given against Cresswell was going to stand. I really did. I was screaming that I wanted Emerson on right away. Then I started seeing the replays. I'm like, even with it coming off his head, I mean, that's too close for comfort for me.
Yeah, I think Cresswell's a liability, I have to say.
I want to see Emerson more in there more often. I think that he's going to be a key piece with Paqueta, with them having that kind of relationship, having played prior. I saw too or someone who commented it. Where is it? Yes, Lenny. Talking about Cornet, I think that I would love to see Cornet get involved too, especially with the link that they have having all three played at Lyon. Or not Lyon. Was it Lyon? Yeah. So I think that those three would be dangerous down the left-hand side. The right side needs a lot of work. Bowen seems a step off still.
He's not quite at it. It was a little bit better tonight, but not much.
No, I mean, yeah.
Like I was surprised he lasted the 90. I mean, Cornet can play right wing.
Yeah, I was honestly going to tweet out about that if Cornet could or not.
Yeah, he can. You can absolutely. He can play three positions basically. He can play on the left wing, on the right wing, and up front. He's done all three. So he's very comfortable out on the right. So like I would have gotten Bowen off and gotten Cornet on there at half time. Actually,
I agree, and I think that just would have added a different level of attacking. That was hilarious seeing that Areola translating for Paqueta.
Yeah. Emerson wasn't on the pitch. Was Emerson on the pitch at that point? Because Emerson speaks Portuguese, so
yeah. But Areola was. I don't know if it was on your the broadcast over there, but for us or for the Americans at least, Peacock had cut to Paqueta getting the instructions from Nolan, and Areola's in there looking back and forth translating for him.
Yeah.
So, but
tell Paqueta.
Yeah, that's gonna obviously be some growing pains, but I think that it's gonna be.
Well, it helps that he speaks French.
Yeah,
it helps that Paqueta speaks French because we've got a few French-speaking players. So
yeah,
but his English is decent.
Yeah, it's probably just not fully there yet. My guess is that he's still got a little bit of ways to go on it. Because I watched the intro video with him. And even then, I mean, he was still getting it translated or all the subtitles. So I don't think it's 100% there. I think he knows enough of it to communicate if he has to, but it's just not fully there yet. And obviously those things will get sorted out on the training pitch and everything like that. So I'm not worried about the communication, especially with the skill that he showed coming on like that. So I think he's going to be he's a world-class signing. I think that he's just going to tear the Premier League up, and he's going to have a hell of a season this year.
Yeah. He's quality, so he'll show that. I'd love to. I hope Moyes unleashes him against Chelsea. I really do.
I wanted to, or what was I going to say? Oh, one thing I thought during the match too, I thought that our passing was a lot better than it's been the last few matches. I think that the link up play was a lot better. Possession is obviously never going to be our strong suit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're never going to outpossess a team 70-30 or anything like that. Unless it's like a League Two or League Two side or something like that. But that's just par for the course for this kind of team. But I think the passing was much better than it has been most of the season thus far.
Yeah, passing was a lot crisper tonight, much cleaner. Just an all-around much better performance than any of our
This is what I expected of West Ham.
This is kind of more like the level we expect from them. Plus, Tottenham are overrated as always. They started really well, 3 wins and a draw, I think they had, and as usual, the media getting carried away. Spurs are still Spursy. They're not as good as people are making them out. I was on earlier with Anton on the West Ham Network, and I was saying it on there that this Tottenham team are not as good as the press. They're kind of a media darling for some reason. Tottenham.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah, and they're not as good as some people are making them out to be.
Yeah, it really feels like it's I think it's above average side that won't do much this season. I can't complain and say that they're an awful team because I mean they do have a lot of quality in there. It doesn't feel like they're going to do anything.
No, they'll do the usual. They'll lose to like teams mid-table and bottom half and stuff like that, and they won't sustain any kind of great run.
No.
So especially once they start hitting those Champions League games and they're playing Thursday, Sunday, I think that's when you'll really start seeing Tottenham dropping points. So
yeah,
and we saw tonight.
I was going to say we saw it a lot in their defense tonight. You put them under a lot of pressure and they crack.
Again, exactly what I said to Anton earlier. I said defensively they're not great, and if you have some courage against them and you use the high press and you really put them under pressure at the back, they'll cough the ball up and you'll create chances against Tottenham. And
I mean,
another night we would have scored more than one.
Yeah, we were nicking passes off of Lloris at the back. I mean, it was they kept talking about how it was his 10-year anniversary of his debut for Tottenham, and he looked like he hadn't played for more than 5 minutes with the team. I mean, he was just making mistakes all over the park. So
and Sanchez panics if you close him down. Sanchez is terrible, like with the ball at his feet. You close Sanchez down, he'll cough it up.
We saw that several times tonight, and I mean they were playing a more defensive line to begin with. They were playing 3 center backs.
Yeah, the only time they threatened us was when they scored that goal, and that was from a counter attack.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to boil it down, I mean Tottenham didn't even score. I mean, it was just Kerner just got a bad touch on it.
Yeah, you probably missed my tweet from a few minutes ago, but
did I?
Yeah, I said Kerr putting into his own net rather than allow Son to score against us is the kind of elite mentality we need at this club.
He's already called the hero.
He's like, no, fuck that. I'm not letting Son score against West Ham. I'll just put it in myself.
He's already a cult hero.
No, he looks fucking quality, Kerr. Like 10.1 million. That's going to prove.
I would say, despite the own goal, I think that he's probably my man of the match.
Well, that's not his fault. I thought he was man of the match. I thought he was brilliant. You can see he's got real quality. Like he's a real ball playing centre back.
Yeah, and that's what we've needed.
Comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's the kind of player like he can play right back, no problem.
When we were taking Cresswell off and putting Ogbonna on, I was thinking that Kerner was sliding over into the left back.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really weird to me. And then we brought on Emerson. I was like, wait, we're going in a back five?
Emerson's a left back. I was literally saying that exact same thing.
Yeah, like it just made no sense to me because I was like, I would have figured David Moyes, the like for like manager, would have been putting Emerson on if he's taking off Cresswell.
Yeah, the man who loves a like for like substitution brings Ogbonna on to play left back against Richarlison. Like Tottenham saw that. Did you notice Antonio Conte realized that
Yeah,
Moyes was bringing Ogbonna on to play left back, and he immediately brought Richarlison on to play on that
yeah.
left hand side.
But I mean, I was telling you about it before we went live. Fair play to Ogbonna. He actually shut him down.
Yeah, you see,
I mean, it was impressive.
Ogbonna's just got that kind of Italian
Ogbonna makes
imperious
no sense.
defensive
He's like the
ability.
Benjamin Button of football. I mean, he's
Yeah,
literally gotten better with age, it seems like.
his ages. Yeah, but that's Italian defenders.
Yeah,
They're all the same. Italian defenders are at their absolute best when they're in their 30s. Like they're amazing. Like Ogbonna's been
no
around for
sense
so
to me.
long. Yeah, I mean he's just so much experience. It's incredible. Like his ability to defend is amazing. I still think he's our best centre back. I don't lie. Ogbonna is still our best centre back. Make no
I
mistake
wouldn't
about
doubt
it.
that.
I know
I
we've spent money on Aguerd, big money, 35 million. I know Zuma was a big money signing last summer, and Kerrer is coming into his own now, starting to play really well. But Ogbonna is absolute class. He really
yeah,
is.
I mean,
It's
it's
his
incredible.
experience. You can see his experience and
Yeah.
his intelligence. So he's got intelligence and experience, and he put those two things together, and he keeps himself very fit. In fairness, he looks after himself.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
he probably eats
absolutely.
all that good Italian stuff, all the pastas and all that and stuff. Like he's supremely fit. You know, even for his age, he's supremely fit, and he
Someone
doesn't
in the
seem to have
chat
lost
could
any
confirm
pace.
this to me. How old is Ogbonna? Is he 34,
He's
35, or older?
35, is it, or something? Yeah.
If someone in the chat
34,
could confirm it,
35,
'cause I can't
but
remember.
he still hasn't missed a step. He's still so fit. It's ridiculous for his age.
That's
Um,
incredible.
yeah, and he's just always in the right place. And
This
he's
big, absolutely.
yeah. No, I love Ogbonna. He's been unbelievable for us. And it's brilliant to see him back. I'm just very surprised Moyes decided to put him in at left back when he had
Yeah,
Emerson on.
that came out of absolute left field.
Yeah, I
Um,
couldn't understand that one.
uh,
But we got away with it.
Emerson getting on as well. What's that?
Yeah, I said we got away with it, so it's fine. But
Yeah.
we ended up with Emerson
Oh,
on
that
anyway.
that definitely would have been a questionable one had Tottenham ended up coming down and scoring a game winner on after targeting Ogbonna. Moyes definitely would have had to answer for that one.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, whenever they could let them target Ogbonna, but he's Ogbonna will always come up with the answers. He's
I could
just
see this too. Yeah, I
so
could
good.
see Kerr coming in at right back, especially since Sufal has not fully been great. I think he had a better match tonight.
Yeah.
But still not what we would have expected.
Yeah, he's had a poor start to the season so far, but he was better tonight, definitely. Second half, I thought he really grew into it. He was starting to actually trouble them down the right-hand side offensively. He was getting down around the byline and he was starting to get balls into the box. So that was definitely an improvement. And I'd love to see Safal get back to form, because he was excellent for us
Sufal, when he's in form, is one of the best right backs in the league.
Yeah, on form, like he's a huge asset. So, especially with
if you
Johnson
can
out.
partner, as much as I love Cresswell, I'm ready to make the full time switch to Emerson.
Yeah, I had Emerson in my starting 11 tonight.
I do too.
I think
I definitely
Cresswell.
have him in against Chelsea now too, because if nothing else, Emerson's going to want to go out there against his or the team that just sold him and say, "This is why you made a mistake."
Yeah, and they weren't playing him, so
no. So I mean, it's kind of a this is what you lost kind of game for him.
He'd be highly motivated.
So he would instantly, exactly. Emerson.
Yeah, I just think Cresswell. Now you can see tonight he's just hit a wall,
Yeah.
But Emerson will start against Chelsea. I mean, Cresswell's injured. He had ice wrapped around his ankle on the bench. So,
well, it's always one of those things too. Cresswell always picks up the most random injuries, and he's out for 6 months. Then it seems like he tears his ACL, and he's back the next game. He makes his injury record makes no sense to me.
But I think we will see Emerson now on
Saturday, do too,
which is good. So yeah, it's good. It's good. He's going to start on Saturday. So I just think Cresswell's hit a wall. To be honest,
I do too.
It happens to every player at some point. They just get to that age and they just hit a wall, and you can see the decline. So it's time for the Emerson era now, I think.
I fully agree. I
So
think that
hopefully he'll
he's
come
going to
in
be a
now
player
and
for
play
us.
really well, and Moyes will have no choice but to keep picking him.
Yeah. And I think that Emerson is going to be a hell of a player for us. He's going to be another bargain. I think that I think we touched on it a little bit during the last show, but for all the shit that we've given the board over the past couple of years, rightfully so, I think that the transfer business that we've done this season or this transfer window has been smart and efficient and improved every deficiency, really.
Yeah, it's probably the best window I can remember for a long, long time, Chris.
I mean, we had the
obviously
window
spent a
for
lot of
Bilic
money.
where we just brought in a bunch of random players and hoped it worked, like Joe Hart, Chicharito, Gokhan Torre. And we were excited because, there's ambition, they're showing intent. But now looking back at it, I mean, it literally was just a smattering of like, all right, let's see if any of these guys work.
Yeah, it was kind of a scattergun approach. We did the same under Pellegrini.
Yeah, but I think that
a lot of money, but it was just a scattergun approach. It didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to who we were buying.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think that
getting who we felt we could get and hoping it would work out.
This has been smart business for great players to fit in and that'll fit the system. I can't think of a bad signing we've made this season.
No, we haven't made a bad signing. We've cleared out a lot of deadwood as well.
That too. That's huge.
And we've replaced them with quality. So that's great business. I love Neil from Down Under. I love that. He's so understated. Just got caught a few times.
Yeah, a couple times. Nearly gave a penalty had it not glanced off his head.
Just got caught out a few times at the back. Just his job.
Just his job. Just what he's paid 100 or thousands upon thousands of pounds to do.
I love Neil. It's probably very late in Australia, so we'll forgive you for that one, Neil.
Or early, depending on how you look at it. I'm curious, Neil, if you're willing to disclose this. Do you get up for the matches, or do you just stay up all night? Do you just not sleep?
Oh, it's well known that Neil does not sleep ever. He is always awake. It doesn't matter what time you do a show.
He's always here. I love it.
Awake
and ready to go, raring to talk West Ham. I love it. We love you, Neil. We love you. But Black Country Ham or Hammer.
Black Country Hammer. Yeah.
I apologies for the butchering of the name. If you look at my Twitter handle, I've experienced it all my life, so I know what you mean. But Antonio did look very good tonight. I thought he was very good. It's Shames Scamacca was sick all week and was unable to train. Hopefully we can get him involved for the Chelsea match, and I'd love to see if he can go, if he heals up and he can train a little bit. I'd love to see Scamacca start and Antonio come on maybe at the 60th minute, and I think Antonio would be a wrecking ball for Chelsea's back line then.
Yeah. Given that he was sick, it'll probably go the opposite way.
I agree.
Hopefully Scamacca will be feeling well enough to be on the bench, and he'll come on for Antonio, hopefully after maybe 60 minutes or something, 65 minutes. It would have been nice to have had Scamacca there to bring on as well tonight.
Yeah.
He could make a real difference as well.
Thankfully, we didn't end up needing him. It would have been nice to see Cornet as well come on at some point.
Yeah.
But
you said Cornet should have been on at halftime for Bowen.
I agree. Do you start Bowen or would you start Cornet against Chelsea?
I think at this point I'd start Cornet.
I agree. I think
Bowen, needs to be. I hate to say dropped because he's been so brilliant for us, but he's just, for whatever reason, he's just not at it.
He just needs a wake-up call. He needs a wake-up call.
He does need a wake-up call to say, look, we've got a strong bench now, so if you're not at it, someone's going to take your place. And I'd love to see Cornet, especially with his pace, to really trouble.
Going into such a big game. It's another London derby, back-to-back London derby on the road. I think we need I think we need to start off strong, and I think Cornet would be able to do the job, and especially with the pace he has. I think Bowen almost might be a liability against Chelsea. I think they would target the right hand side again, like they did tonight, or Tottenham did tonight. And if you throw Cornet in, I think that kind of alleviates that and allows the entire front line to do very well.
They would be terrified of his pace. They really would. I mean,
I thought so, but I just didn't want to insult you in case you meant the F.
It's all good. We know what it means. It's fine. Just a typo. But yeah, I'd love to see Moyes be brave in just one of these games. Obviously against Chelsea, I think he'll stick to the 4-2-3-1. But I'd love him to just.
I did like the 4-3-3 tonight. I did like the 4-3-3.
Yeah, effectively we're playing a 4-3-3 because Fornells was dropping in into the midfield, helping out. But I'd love to see him be a little braver against Chelsea. He won't, Moyes, but excuse me, I'd love to see him.
I agree, Neil.
Yeah, I'd love to see him take Fornells out. Not that Fornells has done anything wrong. He almost scored 2 tonight. Fornells. From a long range effort. But I'd love to see him play. Say, even if he's kept Bowen in there, just for him to play, like, say, Bowen, Benrahma, and Cornet all in the one team. That would take a lot of the attention off of Bowen as well.
Oh, I agree.
If they're having to watch Benrahma and Cornet as well, right across that line.
I'm curious to get your opinion on this, and anyone in the chat can chime in, obviously, too. What would you think of an Antonio Scamacca front line? Like two strikers up top. Do you think it would work? Do you think we would have success with it? Do you don't think, based on our system, is it kind of a no-go? Is it like we can't kind of even remotely touch that?
That would require playing a 4-4-2, which our players are not accustomed to. And then there's the question of what's your 4 in midfield. You could have maybe Rice and Paqueta with Benny on the left and either Cornet or
Bowen on the right.
I mean, that's a nice midfield.
That's a great midfield.
A very nice midfield. And considering Rice and Paqueta both work very hard, do a lot of running. They're both physical. They're tough. They put the challenges.
I feel like the middle of the park would be kind of
against the right opposition. Absolutely, a 4-4-2 could work. It really could. Yeah. There'd be no harm to see it. It's but so few teams play 2 up now, Chris. It's quite old school now. If you go 4-4-2, it used to be like I remember back in say the 90s in the Premier League, pretty much every team had like 2 up top. But you just don't see it anymore. Everyone's, playing 4-3-3s and, the wingback formation or the 4-2-3-1 or a diamond midfield, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot more simple. It's a lot more simple now, I think. But I would be interested to see it. I agree with Matthew that Antonio would have to play just behind, but I feel like he would just provide assists for days for Scamacca.
Yeah, and you could go either way. You could flip it too. You could play Scamacca as the number 9 with Antonio in the number 10 role. See, I don't think we'll see it now anyway, because I think what Paqueta's in the team, he's going to play at number 10.
No, I completely agree, but it's just more of a hypothetical because I'm curious because I think that what is it? I think it would be good.
It won't happen because Moyes has never done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never once at West Ham has he had 4-4-2, so I don't expect he'll start doing it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we will just continue to see rotation between Scamacca and Antonio.
Well, so unfortunately, I do have to cut this short. I do have some things going on here in a little bit, so I do have to cut this off now. I could talk. I could talk about this all day, so I have to force myself into it. So before we wrap up here, do you have any final notes?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything. I suppose the one thing that's noticeable now, just from last season, is just the strength and depth in the bench now.
Yeah,
it's just a complete turnaround. we got rid of all the crap off the bench and we filled it with much better quality. So, and with the 5 subs allowed as well this season, I think that'll be good for us, particularly against
massively.
teams in the bottom half of the table. It'll give us a real advantage over them because a lot of them, they don't have the bench that we've got, and they don't have as many players that can come on and affect the game. Whereas with everyone fit, I mean, if you think with everybody fit, I mean, our bench will be incredibly strong.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Sorry. Yeah, going back Masuaku. Hell no.
Years to get him out.
That's funny. Yeah, so listen, everyone. Thank you again for joining us in the for another post-match show. I said it, or I touched on it in the beginning, but the support you guys have shown so far this season has been incredible. I just want to personally thank you guys, and hope you guys continue to enjoy this. We're going to keep trying to make them as best as we can, and as quality as we can. We have Chelsea coming up on Saturday, and we're going to be right back here following that match. We've kind of made the decision that from now on, it'll be, rather than immediately following the game within 10, 15 minutes, it'll now be 30 to an hour, just so that way we can get some of the other, some people who might get bored on other channels to come over here as well to have more of a discussion and things like that, and more engagement. So again, thank you all for joining us as always. We'll be right back here on Saturday. And until then, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.